सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 8, Text 65. Rajo Vacha Sutomi Balako Brahman Sutomi Balako Brahman Straini Nine Akaruna Atmana Straini Ne Akaruna Atmana निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः सः मात्रा महान् कविः सः मात्रा महान् कविः सुतोमि बालको ब्रह्मा स्त्रैनेने अकरुणा आत्मना निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः सः मात्रा महान् कविः सुतोमि बालको ब्रह्मा स्त्रैनेने अकरुणा आत्मना निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः सः मात्रा महान् कविः राजोवाच सुतो मे बालको ब्रह्मा स्त्रैनेन अकरुणात्मनः निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः सः मात्रा महान् कविः राजोवाच सुतो मे बालको ब्रह्मा स्त्रैनेन करुणात्मना निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः सः मात्रा महान् कविः राजोवाच सुतो मे बालको ब्रह्मा स्त्रैनेन करुणात्मनः निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः सः मात्रा महान् कविः माताजी राजोवाच सुतो मे बालको ब्रह्मा स्त्रैनेन करुणात्मना निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः सः मात्रा महान् कविः राजोवाच सुतो मे बालको ब्रह्मा स्त्रैनेन करुणात्मना निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः सः मात्रा महान् कविः राजोवाच सुतो मे बालको ब्रह्मा स्त्रैनेन करुणात्मना निर्वासितः पांचवर्षः saha matra mahan kavi. Rajovacha. The king replied, Sutaha, son, me, my, balakaha, tender boy, Brahman, my dear Brahmana, Strainina, one who is too addicted to his wife, Akaruna Atmana, one who is very hard of heart and without mercy, Nirvasitaha is banished, Panchavarshaha, although the boy is 5 years old, Saha, with Matra, mother, Maha, great personality, Kavihi, devotee. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The king replied, O best of the Brahmanas, I am very much addicted to my wife, and I am so fallen that I have abandoned all merciful behavior. Even to my son, who is only 5 years old, I have banished him and his mother, even though he is a great soul and a great devotee. Purport. In this verse, there are some specific words which are to be understood very carefully. The king said that since he was very much addicted to his wife, he had lost all his mercy. That is the result of becoming too affectionate toward women. So the king had 2 wives. The first wife was Suniti and second was Suruchi. He was too attached to the second wife, however, so he could not behave well with Dhruva Maharaja. That was the cause of Dhruva's leaving home to perform austerities. Although as a father, the king was affectionate towards his son, he minimized his affection for Dhruva Maharaja because he was too much addicted to the second wife. Now he was repenting that both Dhruva Maharaja and his mother Suniti were practically banished. Dhruva Maharaja went to the forest, and since his mother was being neglected by the king, she was therefore almost banished also. The king repented, having banished his boy. For Dhruva was only 5 years old, and a father should not banish his wife and children or neglect their maintenance. Repentant over his neglect of both Suniti and her son, he was morose, and his face appeared withered. According to Manusmriti, one should never desert his wife and children. In case where the wife and children are disobedient and do not follow the principles of home life, they are sometimes given up. But in case of Dhruva Maharaj, this was not applicable because Dhruva was very mannerly and obedient. Moreover, he was a great devotee. Such a person is never to be neglected. Yet the king was obliged to banish him. Now he was very sorry. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's chant Manglartham. Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnana Jana Chalakaya Chakshuru Militamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapata Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanakisagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarvinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So let me take the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis assembled here. So to all my Siksha Gurus and Guru Maharaj and Prabhupada, so right words comes at the right time. So we are in the... So Dhruva Maharaj Charitram is one of the very important in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are in the stage where Narad Muni has given Siksha to Dhruva Maharaj, how to meditate, what to chant, how the Lord will looks like. So, and then he's now come to meet the king. So now he's meeting the king. Yesterday, Bhava Prabhu was explaining, right? So when you see the Narad Muni sees the king, his face was withered. So face is by seeing the face, we can see how a person is, in what situation we can understand. He saw that he was thinking for a long time, why or what happened to you? So that's what the question. So now the king is replying it. So let's try to understand. If you look at this, is very important for us mainly. So here there are few things we need to really to be understood, which Prabhupada just carefully says. One is, the first point here is telling, the king said, since he was very much addicted to his wife, he had lost all his mercy. So first thing we need to really understand is, suppose if you have some kind of a addiction, so let's say the attraction becomes too much of addiction, we lost all the mercy. So that means we'll lose all our intelligence. So that's a very important point we need to really understand. Let's discuss about this more in some time. So the another one we need to really understand is, so according to Manusmriti Vedic culture, it's not something that father should not desert his wife and children. So we can see that there is no case, they will never leave their children or wife, whatever the situation. But Prabhupada has rightly pointed out, if they are disobedient and do not follow the principles, that time they will neglect them. It's not like these days, like if they are not making me to gratify my senses, I'll leave them. That's not the case. So at least I know only one case in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Maybe we'll be reading in another few more chapters down the line. So King Anga, right? He had a son called Vena. So he was against the Vedic principles. So that time King Anga will leave the home. So that time Vena is also grown up. So that's a case kind of one. Otherwise, we will not banish any children or the wife. That's a very important things to understand. As people like a Grahastha, we have responsibilities. So how do we really understand it? If you look at one, so what the Raja King Uttanapada is telling it, there are few points is, I'm very much addicted to my wife. That's a one point which is he's highlighting it. So that he lost all his merciful behavior. So what happened? He banished his son as well as the wife, because he was attracted too much towards his second wife. So that's a one. So here if you look at, he's telling he's a Mahan Kavihi, that means a great devotee. So even it's a great devotee, he has banished him. So how the attachment is causing us someone to fall down, right? So if you look at Bhagavatam, at least in a canto, we'll see 2 or 3 stories where how because of attachment they are falling down. So let's look at some of the one and see how do we really applicable to this verse, right? So first thing is we'll look at the Bilva Mangala Thakur story, right? So Bilva Mangala Thakur, he is from the very cultured, wealthy Brahmin family. He born in a Brahmin family. They are very cultured, wealthy. So, but what happened? He got attracted to a prostitute called Chintamani. So, what happened? The attraction becomes an attachment. So, that's where when we started getting attraction, then it will become an attachment. So, what will happen when the attachment is being, let's say it's like a fire, it's been going on, increasing it, what will happen? That is a very one. So, what happened? Bilva Mangal Thakur, he became a very lusty towards the Chintamani, that prostitute. So it is his father was died, so he is not shed even a single tears, because he is having so much of lusty desire to go and meet her. So they are doing the funeral. So that time he is not moved. He is always thinking about, meditating about, I have to go to and meet the Chintamani. That was always his in thought. He didn't have any what is that? He didn't move. He was like no tears, nothing. So that was his like hard-hearted one, because he has so much of lusty desire. So when the funeral has been done, the pyre has been said, he just simply ran over towards to her house. That day it was a very rainy, and then it was like a storm. So it was like other side of the river. So he could not cross the river. So he went and asked a boatman, "Can you help me to cross the river?" The boatman said, "No, it is very dangerous. I cannot do it." But since he has too much of lusty desire, he wants to meet her. He wants to be with her. So that was his so much of attraction. What he did, he was simply trying to cross. That time, he took an object, and then with that object he was moving. What was that object? It was a dead body was floating it. So even that's a dead body, he didn't worry, because always he's thinking about, yes, I have to go and meet the Chintamani. That is what is always the mind. So, and then he went. See, somehow he crossed and went. So the door was closed, and he could not go enter into her house. So he don't know what to do. Then there is a wall. So it was a big wall. He don't know how to climb it. So there was he saw there is a rope. I'll catch that rope and then go. But that is not a rope. It was a snake. So we can see here. So that means he didn't. He for him perspective, my life is secondary. I want to be with her. That kind of attachment, attraction. He has that one. So he finally climbed up, and then through window, and then she entered to her room. So, but Chintampani she blasted him. She said, "What a shame! You have so much attraction to my body, which is anyway going to be a warm. It's like ashes, warm stool, whatever it is. But you are attracted to it. This kind of attraction, if you have with the Lord Krishna, so you'll be more successful." So then she gave that one. So he felt very ashamed. How I did so much to come here, but this is one. Then what he took as a bhakti as the process. But this is another very important one. But he took a bhakti, but he's always have the lusty desires. Will not easily go away. Once you have that lusty desire, it will not easily go away. He was like, okay, I'll go towards Vrindavan, I'll do a bhakti process. And then he started going towards Vrindavan. So that time what happened? We always have bad habits generally go away, right? So he saw one more woman. So when she saw that woman, so he again got a lusty desire. She started following her. So once she started following her, and then she knocked a door. She went in, the Mataji went in the house, she knocked the door. That time one sober person has come. So and that person was, when you see a Vaishnava attire has come, Vaishnava person has come, he offered his respectful obeisance and asked, how can I serve you? What can I do for you? So that time Bilwamanga Thakur has said, I'm going to ask you one request. You should promise me that you will fulfill my desire. So that person was like, oh, what is going on? Vaishnava is coming and asking it. He said, okay, I'll do it. That is what his nature. Then he said, Bilwamanga Thakur says, leave me and your wife alone and you go out. That time that husband has got devastated. He don't know what to do, but he has given a promise. So he said to his wife, this is what the one, I don't know what to do, it is Krishna's desire, and then he just moved on. So that time Bilwamanga Thakur, he was alone with his, that Mataji, he was alone. That time Bilwamanga Thakur has asked, mother, can I have your hairpin? So she don't know why he's asking a hairpin. So she took her hairpin and gave. So Bilwamanga Thakur, what he did, he just plucked his eyes from there one. So he was thought that, see, it's like the desires cannot go on it unless until you cut short it. So he just removed his eyes so that he'll not have anyone, if I look at any other person, he'll not get that lusty desires. So now at this stage, Bilwamanga Thakur has a physically blind, but he was spiritually awakened, right? So that's a one. It's like our experiences start that one, right? You can have a lusty desire. It's like I just try to fulfill my desire, which will never end of it. So that's how we'll just go on. So there are so many examples in the Bhagavatam. We'll take one more example and then we'll see how we can learn from them. So there is one more example in the Canto 9, King Pururava. Right? That was a very unique kind of a case. So what happened? Urvasi, she is from the celestial woman, from the heavenly planet. She fall down to the earth, and then because of some curse, she fall down to the earth. So she met King Pururava. So that time she got attracted to King Pururava. So she went to him, and he is also got attracted. Now both of them got attracted. So King Pururava is so much of addicted to her, and then he said, "Come with me, and then let's stay together." So they got married, and then they have been staying together. So, but Urvasi has some conditions. If you meet this condition, I'll stay with you. So the first she said that there are two lamps are there. The two lamps you need to protect. They have fallen with me. They are like my sons. You need to take care. So that's the first she said. And then there are another condition she said. So all the food made should be with the ghee. That's not a problem for our king. So then the other problem is like, I don't want you to see without dress in a non-appropriate places. So that was her condition. King Pururava said, I accepted all these proposals. That's how he just went. So then they are being there for a long time, it's happening it. So what happened? Since he was from the heavenly planet, so King Indra, so he started, Urvasi is not there, there is no fun. So he says that one, without Urvasi, my assembly is no longer beautiful. So he sent his Gandharvas or his servants to bring her back to the heavenly planet. So they know if he just to go and call Urvasi, she may not come. So how did to break their relationship? So what was her conditions? The lamp should be protected, and he should not without proper dress in on other places. What they do is Gandharvas, they came in the midnight, they stole the lamps, and then they ran away. So that time Urvasi got very frustrated, and then she started scolding the king. So the king got, what happened? His love, his dear, everything, he's given his life to that girl. And she started shouting, he get very angry, and then he started running. So that time he didn't think that what dress he is wearing, whether he is wearing dress or not, he just started running. That time what that Gandharva did, they just shone a light brightly, so that Urvasi saw he's not wearing a dress. So she got very frustrated. You broken my promise. I'm not going to stay with you. So she left. So what happened? Now the King Pururava, he lost everything like him. Though he's a king, when going away, the Urvasi, he'll feel that like he lost. He became like a madman. He's just roaming around. Where is Urvasi? He's just searching for her every places. So by providence arrangement, he used to meet her in some place, Kurukshetra. So he was like begging her, come with me, come with me. That time Urvasi will beautifully say that, why you are so mad at me? You should have, like, you have not controlled your senses. But Urvasi understood that he is no more going to listen. She gave that, yes, I'll fulfill your desire, but only thing is, I'll come only, stay with you only one night every year. So he was very happy. It's like all 364 days he is just waiting for that one night, so that when she will be there. So again it happens, she comes and it keeps go on that story. So what happened after some part of time, and he is still not happy, his desire is not fulfilled. So again she left, and then it's been said that the next yuga itself started it. So that means he lost so much of the time behind her, Urvasi. So it was like Treta Yuga has been started it. But if you look at that one, ninth canto ends with that story, with this part. There is a other part of the story which Krishna says in the Uddhav Gita. It's like Aila Gita. So where Krishna says in the to King Uddhava. So where in Uddhava he says that one, he is taking the Aila Gita, what that time Pururava is telling. So he's telling it, I was trying to enjoy too much with her. I'm spending lot of time. He says that one, I did not see sun rising or setting of the sun for many, many years. So that means he don't know what is happening yet. He was always behind her. You don't know what is his thought is going on. So he's telling, I'm supposed to be a mighty emperor. He's one of the biggest king of the emperor. So, but see how I am being bewildered by she used me like a toy animal. So that's a realization he's getting after so many yugas passed away, right? So he's been a Satya to Treta. So that time he's telling it, what is the purpose of education, austerity, practices, everything it. Suppose if somebody is not able to, one mind is stolen by a woman. So that time he's just having the realization. So he's telling that I'm become like a toy to that woman. So that's how he just started feeling it. So then he just became a self-realization. He started rejecting all the one and then became a self-realization soul. So that time Krishna says that one to Uddhava. So he says that one, if my devotees fix minds on me, they do not depend on any material attachment. They will not have any attachment. If they have a attachment towards me, they'll gradually everything will go away. So they will be peaceful. So they will not hanker about all those things. That's how we just stop that one. Right? So there are quite a few instances. We can take Saubhari Muni, Muchakunda, so many places. There are examples, right? So how is that the way to be like a Grahastha life? Means it's a family or attachment. It is how, it is what the Bhagavatam is teaching us. So let's go to a Chaitanya Charitamrita. So where we can see what is a real Grahastha life, right? Because Mahaprabhu's most of the devotees are Grahasthas, how they have it one. So this is from the Madhya Leela, where Mahaprabhu has taken a sannyasi, and then Nityananda Prabhu bewildered him to go towards a Ganges instead of Vrindavan. So and then now Mahaprabhu came to a Advaita Acharya's house. So if they came to Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu did not have a food for 3 days. So they said that it's a beautiful one. Advaita Acharya said that I just prepared a little rice and a little spinach for you to have a food. But if they come here, it's like a Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives almost 20 verses of what is been prepared. So much have been preparation have been done, and then they have it. So now Mahaprabhu is with the Advaita Acharya house. So that time what happened? Lots of people, all the Mahaprabhu devotees, they started coming towards Advaita Acharya's house. So Advaita Acharya, what he'll do is, he has taken care of everyone, and then he fed them sumptuously for how many days they are here. He gave them the place to stay and everything. So one very beautiful thing to understand, that time Kaviraj Goswami says that one, the supplies of Advaita Acharya are inexhaustible and indestructible. So that means what he is telling it, as many as goods and commodities he used, he just again appeared. So if you try to spend something to Krishna, we get more than what we get. Anyway, we get everything from Krishna, right? So if you try to use it, that one. So he says that one, you may sometimes we think, oh, wow, so much he is giving it. That means he has so much opulence, he is spending a lot. But Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami tells us, as much as he gave, it all again appeared it. Then it's all happened. Okay, they all stay together, they have a kirtan, they talk about lot, and then Mahaprabhu asks all the residents to go back to their home. So that time Mahaprabhu gives 3 instructions to them. So what he tells is, when you return go home, Garek Yana Khara Sada Krishna Sankirtana, Krishna Nama, Krishna Katha, Krishna Aradhana. He is telling that you do the Krishna Sankirtana, chant congregational chanting, Krishna Nama, and Krishna Katha, have a Krishna Katha, you talk about the stories of the Krishna, Krishna Aradhana, and then worship the Krishna. So these are 3 things you just keep doing when you go to the house. That time you are with the Mahaprabhu. That is what he's saying and then doing. So that's how he sets that one. It's not like then we'll not have any attachment towards the materially. So what happens then? They all left and everything, right? So then Mahaprabhu also wants to go to Jagannath Puri, and then he got the permission from Mother Sachi Mata. So once he had done and gone. So then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami again beautifully finished that one, right? So what he tells it, this is a very important, we need to really understand. So he is telling that from the Advaita Acharya, he is telling that his faith, devotion, home, riches, everything else were successfully utilized in the worship of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If we use all our wealth, our devotion, home, everything, whatever we have, it's not for our. If we try to use it for the Mahaprabhu or his devotees and everything, that is a successful utilization, right? So that's how he is telling it. So how we can be a success? The formula is here. So that's how we just did. So this is the very important points where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami tells us how to be have without attachment, right? So means, is it not only like what is it, male to female or female to male? That's not that just attachment. Attachment can be anything. So in Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he gave final instruction. There are almost 10 instructions before he passes. He gave the 10 instruction. The first instruction he gave that is, this world is temporary. It lasts only for a day or two. So he is telling that give up the attachment and go beyond the illusion of it. That is what his first instruction he gave us out of 10 instructions in the final one, right? So what is the problem with the attachment, right? So it is like my Guru Maharaj always says that one. It's like we will see in the two ways of. One is that he gives a kama bindu, kama sindhu. It's like I just add I have a desire. I just add slowly, drop by drop. It's eventually will go away, drop. Either that way I'll do it, or it's like a kama sindhu. I'll just have everything I'll do it together. So by now I'll just finish it. Both the ways our desire is not going to go away. That's the one. He's always quote that one. So Gaur Govind Samaraj beautifully says that one. He says in one class, many people of us are hearing a Krishna Katha but will not enter into our ears. If we have the attachment, material attachment, it will not hear. We'll just try to pretending to like to be hearing, but will not go into that. We have attachment, right? So this is something very beautifully, I think it's a very important people like me to really understand. In Harinama Chintamani, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he has written it very beautifully. So where one he says that one, in chanting we have an indifferent in the chanting of the name. So that means we will have a casual attitude, we will not pay much attention. Why do we have always that one? I always used to have that kind of thought. Suppose we know chanting is important, why do we always that we don't give that priority? So for that Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given in the Harinama Chintamani, suppose if we have a desire to accumulate wealth or enjoy the association of let's say women or men, or we are trying for a name, fame, or we want to cheat others, or we want to be like I want to be the victory, I want to be the successful, that kind of things they fills in the heart. So that time our chanting will be indifferent. We cannot chant it properly. That's what the one of the things which he predominantly emphasizes it on. So that's the one. So even Prabhupada this makes it very clear in his Nectar of Devotion. So these are very important things to understand. So our desire or aspiration by satisfying senses becoming more and more important. It's like we want to do so much. The very important thing Prabhupada says that either it's a material or spiritual senses. If you are trying to satisfy our senses, whether it materially or spiritually, we want to satisfy our senses, then we cannot release the sweet of devotional service. So that's another one which Prabhupada writes in the Nectar of Devotion. Either it is a material senses or in the spiritually also. Suppose if you are trying to have attraction to our senses, that's the one thing we need to have to cater for it, right? So I'll just one Bhakti Vinod Thakur has we know in his Gita Vali he says that he prays that one. So in a humble mood. So, oh Lord, I am a materialistic person. I have strong attachment to this material sense gratification and material relations. I offer prayer at your lotus feet. You can do everything. Nothing is impossible for me. To give up such attachment is impossible for us. But you can do it. Please direct this attachment towards your lotus feet. So what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying is, so he is telling that I cannot give up my attachment. I cannot do it. It's impossible for me. Whereas nothing is impossible for you, oh my Lord. So please, so that help me, so that I am getting attached to your lotus feet. So that is what he is praying it. So what we are seeing in this verse is, let me summarize it. So here what happened it, King Uttanapada started repenting it. So because he understood that he has addicted too much to his wife, and then he has lost all his merciful behavior. That means we know that once we have the attachment is getting more and more, so our intelligence will get lost. So our Guru Maharaj recently is always says that one. So when the avidya, ignorance comes, then will karma, the lust will happen. So then the karma or activities will become abominable activities will start. So that's the one. It starts with a small attraction. So that's where the one. So that's a one thing really to be understand. So again I'll take one more verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita in Antelila. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's praise to the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vaigunyakita kalitaha paisunya varanapidaha dainirnave nimagoham chaitanya vadayam ashraya. So what Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says that all the material attachments are like insect bite. So suppose if any of you have the experience of any leeches or bed bites or something, if it bite us, you'll get maybe initially looks like a very small, and then it just increases, the swelling will increases and then will happen. So he says that all the material attachment or the desires are like the insect, it's like a parasite, insects biting us. So initially we may think it's a small, but if you leave it, it will just going to kill us. And then he adds one more thing. And then he's telling, it's like you have the bites and everything, then you have the boils. If you, let's say, imagine you have the bites and then the boils is coming. He's telling that boils are nothing but our envious attitude. So if we have these kind of, let's say, if we have been infected with the germs of material activity, we have and the boils of the envy. So he's telling there is only one option for us. So what he's telling, Daine Arnave. So that means with we have to fall in the ocean of humility. Then we need to go to the doctor Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great physician, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Let's all take the shelter of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Narendra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes.
Identifying mistake is one big thing, extremely big. I'm just wondering why didn't Prabhupada go to forest and bring Dhruva back home and maybe Suniti came back
Prabhu, there is no Suniti, where did it end up is not given anywhere as far as Malayali. The only thing is once Dhruva Maharaj comes and then Suniti also with him. After that, I think she should have been in the palace only, but there is no mention of one, maybe as far as one. So why King Uttanapada didn't go and search it? I think earlier section it's been said, they don't know where he went. It's not like these days they can figure it out where and how. So it was the one he couldn't able to find it. Even I think in the King Anga, when he left also, I think that time Prabhupada writes it one. It's not like people will be searching, they could not find it. So he says that one, Guru Maharaj always says that one, it's like Paramatma is inside. If we keep searching, we cannot able to see him. That's how. It's not like they don't want to see or they cannot see it. That's how he give the example. So here Uttanapada, whether he searched also not given it, but if he is not supposed to find Dhruva Maharaj, he cannot find it. No. That we'll see in the King Anga. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
But we can see like in case of puja also, see how much puja I have seen to correct our senses in assessing the question. And she got purified. And there is, I think, Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 7, there is one verses and it says, whether you are like enemy to him or you are favorable or you are attached to Krishna, you are benefited.
Correct.
That is the message.
Yes, Prabhu, definitely, because mean Hare Krishna means Rupa Goswami says in Hare Krishna Mahamantra can be sung only by the exalted, liberated souls. But we are also chanting. But this is purify us. Maybe they release that one. It will help us to purify us. So that means even though whatever our intention is, maybe it's materially uh, motivated, we started a bhakti. We means at least, of course, I can say I started bhakti. Maybe I like the prasada more. So it is like to taste my tongue. So we started a bhakti either in the ways of satisfying our senses, but it's a purificatory process. So that once we become a purify, we can start releasing it. So that's that one. Maybe we may not release uh, like Rupa Goswami says, he's chanting. He's millions of years and thousands of tongues. Definitely, when I chant, I don't feel that much thing. So maybe that, but it's a process for us to get purified. But maybe once purified, that time they can have it. That's what the Prabhupada says, that one. So we may not able to release the full taste of it, but this is the process we definitely will get purified. Yes, Prabhu. It's like Dhruva Maharaj also started with the whole section is Dhruva Maharaj is what he wants to become like more richer than Brahma, right? So he wants to be, that is the way we started. Bhakti is maybe in a different motivation, but we are not doing bhakti to satisfy our senses. Maybe we started it, but it's like if you whole process is to modify our senses, we are trying to do a bhakti, we may not get the bhakti. That's what the one, right? So we are trying to hear to, let's say, prema. That's what our focus is, right? Not really getting even what means we read it, even we're not wanting mukti. So mukti is a very big thing which no one doesn't know much of prema before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says it, right? So that's a one. So yes, we can start it anyway, but our goal is not the one as far as one. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, so it's like Mahakavi, right? So he left. He's not he left to pray to the Lord. He knows that he is going to look at for the Vishnu, right? So even though his intention was wrong, but he is going towards the Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. He is like, that's what even his Surichi also told to pray to that Vishnu. So you have to come into my womb, pray to the Vishnu. So somebody is like, whatever be the intention, if they are praying to the Vishnu, they have it's a great deal, they are great. And then he is taking up the austerities, right? So he is doing austerities. So that's a Mahan. So Gaur Govind Samraj says that one. So in generally, we all try to be gratify our senses and then making happy ourselves. Then we are just conditioned souls. Suppose even a conditioned souls, somebody is like reducing their sense gratification, they are Mahan. Mahat, he calls it, they are great personalities. And then there is Mahat is somebody, they completely stop doing the sense gratification activity, Mahat. But whereas he states that one devotee is not a Mahat or Mahat, their whole thing is to please the senses of the Krishna. So here he says that the Mahan Kavi, he is a Mahat, he's now in the Mahan stage. It's like he's trying to, he's not taking any sense gratification. He could have stayed with his home only or try to adjust and like Narad Muni says to Dhruva Maharaj, right? He didn't do that one. He went to pray to the austerity and do it. So that's the reason he's just quoting it here. That's my understanding, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Gurindra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.